So, Allie, thank you for doing this with me. This is for the Modern Frequency website, and I'm Robert. How and
Thanks
why
so
did,
much for having me.
yeah, thank you for having me too. How and why did you get started in the music industry? How and why did you get started?
Oh man, how? I think it wasn't really ever a decision that I made. I just felt like I always needed to make music. I believe I started writing when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and
Wow.
I just had a lot had a lot of feelings, and I just wanted to capture them all. I always really loved writing in particular,
Mhm.
like loved language arts class and everything like that, and
Me,
um,
me
just found a
too.
lot of kind of like meaning and you what?
Me too, me as well. I love
Sorry.
dealing with like language arts and
Oh,
stuff
sweet,
like that.
nice, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. That was always my favorite subject, and I just loved writing. And then I realized that I could just, put my thoughts and my ideas and my feelings and emotions into lyrics. And then I learned how to play drums first, and I realized quickly that to be a songwriter and a drummer, you need some melody, you need some composition in there, unless you want to be a rapper. And that's yeah, I don't think I would make the best rapper. So yeah, so I started learning. I learned guitar from my dad, and yeah, it just kind of started from there, and then I just kept doing it just out of like sheer love and joy and passion for it. And honestly, never really thought about having it be my career. Like I kind of fantasized about it being my career when I was a kid, and like just was obsessed with like Hillary Duff and like all the pop stars, and I always
Mhm.
just kind of dreamed about that. And then I started taking it a bit more seriously in high school. I was living in Germany,
Mm.
and I was mentored by this guy. His name is Paul Fogarty, and he's this really awesome Australian singer-songwriter. And he kind of took me under his wing and brought me to like open mics, and brought me to some like it kind of more like listening shows, and let me open up for him for those shows, and just kind of let me experience what it's like to be in front of an audience that actually cares about what you're saying, and what a privilege it is, and how you want to make sure that you're saying things that are worthwhile, and saying things that actually are potent and meaningful. And yeah, and so I'd say like that was really whenever the flip switched, and I was like, okay, I want to keep doing this at some capacity. And then so when I graduated high school, I remember having a conversation with my mom about what I wanted to do with my life, and she's like, what do you want to study, like what do you want to go into? And she's like, well, all I really want to do is make music, and I don't really know how to make that a profession. We were at a little Starbucks in Germany, and this woman comes up to me. She's like, sorry, I was eavesdropping on a conversation, and have you ever heard of Belmont University? And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, it's a music school. You can go there and like study songwriting and then like become a professional musician. And I was like, I never knew that that was an option at all. And so I ended up applying and then got in, and and then I went to Belmont for like 3 months, and that's a whole other story. I didn't end up staying there, but long story short, was in a relationship that did not support and encourage me to pursue my craft. And then I moved to Colorado, lived there for a while, and kind of experienced what it was like to give up and move away from Nashville. And that haunted me every single day.
Right.
And I couldn't live with that. So then I became a waitress. I dropped out of college, saved up a bunch of money, lived at home with my parents for a while, and then I moved back to Nashville. And that's currently where I'm living, and I'm trying to figure out how to make it my life. And it's been the most meaningful thing I've ever done. So
That's
that's
an,
I guess that's
that's
my life story.
That's no, that's an incredible story. And I want to go
Thanks.
back to your mentor. That's incredible that you actually have a mentor, you know.
Oh yeah, for
I think
sure.
that's really important. Are you still in touch with him?
Oh yeah, yeah. We talk.
Yeah.
We talk often. I would say we talk like once every maybe like 4 to 5 months. And yeah, he lives over, kind of splits his time between Germany and Australia, and has made a living off of doing music for movies and TV, and then also playing live intimate shows in Germany because they pay really well. And yeah, it's what
Very
works
cool.
for him, and it's really awesome. Yeah.
Very cool. What does it mean to be from Nashville? Because it's very country, it's very country. That's basically it.
Yeah,
I
I
can think
mean,
of.
yeah, it's definitely pretty country, but it's also it's super diverse. Like there's a lot of different kinds of music going on there. I'd say the folk scene is pretty evident. The indie kind of like alternative scene is definitely there too. And yeah, I mean it's been an interesting experience living there. Like it's a very small city. And it's the longest place I think I've ever lived anywhere. I just hit 4 years and I moved every 2 years as a kid with my dad was in the military. So
Oh, okay, okay.
moved around all the time. So I've been, yeah, I will say the best thing about living in Nashville is that you're surrounded by people that are better than you, and that is the best thing that you can ever do to, to grow as an artist. And um, the EP that we're talking about, is I created with my another mentor of mine, like my favorite. I can honestly say he might be my favorite artist like ever, which is a crazy statement. And he's my friend, which is so cool.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
and and he's yeah, his name is Oliver Hopkins. He's has a project called Volunteer Department, and I think working with him and living in Nashville brought me to him. And then we've been together. Together, we've just created this like amazing not only project but just like my music and my lyricism and just my intention behind music has grown exponentially, and I think that's what really matters. So
Okay. All right.
yeah.
What do you want to convey with Changing Room, the title and the story behind it? What is the title
Mm.
behind it?
Yeah, so changing room to me encompasses it's the story is essentially about being in the closet and not being comfortable with who you are, and then coming into yourself and coming into my queerness and coming into my like not only just sexuality I would say, but just like into my own identity as an adult person with confidence and intention. The I would say it's really just it's really just a story of coming out and of being um liberated in my sexuality and my identity and in my purpose as an artist in general.
That's very brave of you, I must say.
Thanks. Thank you. That's really nice.
The EP is out now, right?
No, it's not. So the first song, Rotten Milk, dropped about 2 weeks ago. And then Waterbug comes out in 2 weeks on October 4th.
Hmm.
And I'm opening for Molly Parton and Louisa Stancioff and Eliza Edens in Portland, Maine. That the night of the release, which is super exciting. And then got another one coming out after that called Digital Body. And
Hmm.
then the EP will release on January 3rd.
Oh, that late. I thought it was going to be a little bit earlier than that, but that's
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I kind of decided to nix out December because it's holiday season, so
Yeah,
it'll
sure,
just drop.
sure.
It'll drop very beginning of January, which is also such an exciting time to drop a project. It's like the
Oh,
beginning
yeah.
of the year. I feel like there's so much momentum, so I'm excited about that.
Sure, sure, sure. Your musical delivery reminds me of Mazzy Star a little bit.
Oh,
You heard like your vocals? I don't know. Maybe it's the music, maybe it's the vocals, maybe it's a mix between the two. Who are your
that's so
influences?
nice.
Who were your influences when putting together Changing Room, the CP?
Oh man, I think the coolest thing about this EP was that I wasn't trying, like I wasn't really thinking about anyone else. Um, I'd spent so much time before making projects that were inspired by Soccer Mommy and Snail Mail and like all these like really amazing, alternative artists.
Right.
But ultimately that didn't really feel like myself. It felt like, I was, going off of this thing that's I really love. But with this one, we just like totally surrendered any idea of like a genre or like just anything at all, and we just wanted to honor the song. So I would say the influences are more in line of like of the song and the lyrics. Like Waterbug, there's a lot of elements of like Germany and like the train sounds, like of the train that I grew up riding. And to me, like that informs the song more than I would say like another artist does. So
All right, all right. Where did you get the inspiration for Waterbug lyric wise?
this is it's so fun to talk about because I've been working on this for like 3 years.
Wow,
Um,
wow, wow.
so the song was born, the idea of the song, I guess, was born a couple summers ago, but the real like core of the song was born in high school. I had this secret relationship with this girl. We were both very into each other, and we were just like always hiding and sneaking off like into the changing room at the Weingen pool in Germany in high school in the summer, and we would like go in there and make out, and then we would come out and like act like just pretend we were straight all the time, and we would like hide away in the bathrooms and make out, and just like we were always like sneaking around, and so that was all I knew as a young girl. Like that was who I was. I was like, I'm not gay. I just like this one girl, and I don't even like her that much. I just like to kiss her. Like that was the idea that I had sold myself in my head, which is so funny. But yeah, I always just kind of, I mean, it felt so important to me. Like that relationship was like the first time I'd ever really kind of like admitted to myself that I had feelings for a woman, and it's always been really special to me. And a couple of summers ago, I was at the pool with another friend, a girl that I thought was really pretty, and we were sitting by the water, and we were watching this these bugs, and they were diving into the water, and then they would like swim around, and then they would get out, and they would crawl around, and like I just noticed that like they weren't drowning in the water. It's like, man, I want to be able to like not drown. I want to feel that. I want to experience that, and I want to not be I don't want to be closeted anymore. This is exhausting, trying to just like hide from yourself and hide from your family and everything. So that was, I would say, where like the real inspiration from the song came from. And then I brought it to my friend Oliver, and we really kind of like just worked it out, and got the story down a little bit more. And yeah, so
What would you like to say to your LGBTQ fans now and your whole all of your fans in general?
thank you. Thank you so much for listening. And I think that being queer is such a beautiful thing. It's also so normal and so fine. And I think that we have spent our whole lives, so many of us have spent our whole lives like hiding who we are, and really trying to run from, our family's perception or our friends' perception of us. And I think like the most liberating thing you can do is accept yourself. And once you're able to accept yourself for who you are, then it's like your life really begins. So I would say to my fans, thank you so much for listening to me and listening to my songs. And also like I just always think, how can I help other people? Like how can I give back to the people that support me? So I always tell my people, I'm like, hey, if you follow me on Instagram, like I'll follow you back. Like I want to like support other people's art too. So I think we all just gotta support each other, because trying to make art your life, make a living out of it, it's tricky, but it's possible. And I believe that to my core. And
Sure.
yeah, I just want to help each other out. So yeah.
Well put. What is next for you? You're gonna go to Portland, you said, in Maine?
Yeah, so I'm going to Portland, Maine on October 4th, and I'm opening for Louisa Stancioff, Molly Parton, and Eliza Edens at One Longfellow Square.
Very
It's
cool.
going to be awesome. And then I'm also opening for them again in Washington, D.C. at the Pie Shop on October 15th. And
Nice.
yeah, I'm super stoked about that. And then yeah, I got some new songs coming out. Hoping, fingers crossed, we haven't confirmed this yet, but I hung out with Theo Bleak yesterday.
Oh, you
We did
did.
we did a write in LA together, and went super well. And I'm hoping that her and I can hit the road um, over in the UK at some point next year.
Oh my
So
God, that would
that's
be amazing.
that's a dream for me, and we're gonna try to work that out. So, but I
For
definitely
real.
want to
I hope,
get on the road and share the project. So
yeah, I hope that comes to fruition. That would be great.
thanks. Yeah, me
That's
too.
great.
I have a good feeling. We like hit it off so well. It was awesome.
Can we expect you here in New York City? That's where I'm based right now.
Oh, I'd love to come to New York City so badly. Let's make that
Yeah,
happen.
let's make it happen for sure, for sure, for sure. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so fun. Those
I
are
totally
such wonderful
appreciate
and
it.
thoughtful questions. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. And I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And I'll be in touch.
Okay, sounds